Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggy Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, as we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their jot-em-down store. Lum is talking on the telephone. Listen.
Sure, I've got a good reason for postponing the trial, Squire. Well, the defendant's legal advisors asked for a short extension of time to prepare further evidence. And as justice of the peace, that request sounded reasonable, so I granted it. Well, yeah, I'm the defendant's legal advisor. That oughtn't to make no difference. I don't care who it is that comes to me with a request. If it's reasonable, I'm bound by my office to grant it. Well, now listen, Squire, the trial's been postponed till tomorrow, and that's that. Oh, yeah, it'll start then for sure. Well, don't worry. It's going to be run fair and square. I'll see to that myself. Yeah, all right, Squire. Goodbye.
Old Squire didn't want to postpone it, huh?
Well, of course not. He's got us right where he wants us now, and he knows it. We told him everything we was going to do in the trial when he was in here yesterday. And he knows we ain't had time to change our defense yet.
Well, is there anything we can change it to, Lum?
Well, that's what we got to study up. And that's why I postponed the trial, so we could figure something out.
Well, let's get the figuring in. Let's get started.
We wouldn't be having to do all this if you hadn't stood there yesterday insisting you was guilty.
Well, I am guilty.
Well, that's beside the point. Don't make no difference whether you are or you ain't. You oughtn't to go around telling everybody you're guilty, especially not in front of Harry Hodgkin's lawyer.
Well, I never knowed I had hired Squire Skimp to handle this case. Fact is, you never knowed it neither.
Well, no, I never.
And you was the one that told him exactly how we was going to defend me and try to get me out of this.
Well, yeah.
You stood right there and gave away every one of our secrets, told him everything. Even admitted to Squire we didn't have much of a case.
Well, I will admit I did tell him a few things I oughtn't to. But, leastways, I never come right out flat-footed and told him you was guilty like you done.
And you told him plenty, I'll say that.
Well, when you come right down to it, I guess we both ought to be bored for the simple.
Or two, be, yeah.
Of course, the feller to blame is that dadgum Squire Skimp.
Yeah, that varmint.
He ought to have been man enough to tell us that he's going to be ours lawyer instead of tricking us into giving him all that information.
That's snake in the weeds. Let's just not have the trial.
Well, we can't do that, Abner.
Huh?
It's Harry that's lawsuing you in this case. He's the only one that can call off the trial. I know good and well he ain't going to do it.
No, it's stubborn-headed.
Well, we better get to figuring here. I'll run through my law book again and see what I can find.
Well, Lum, don't you think the best thing to do now is just to admit we're whipped and try to settle with Harry out of court?
No, now that's the one thing we ain't going to do. We're going to fight this thing through.
No.
My reputation and honor's at stake here, and I'll go to any limits to hold. If we lose, I'll spend the rest of my life trying to get you back out of the penitentiary.
Well,
Let's see now. We practical admitted yesterday that you're guilty.
yeah.
And I wouldn't be a bit surprised with what that two-faced squire will use that against us in the trial.
Oh, he'll do anything. You can't trust that varmint.
So that means we've got to start with that and build our case from there on.
Well, when you start with that, well, you're all through, ain't you?
Not in my court, you ain't.
No.
When I'm running a trial, every man gets a fair deal.
Well, after you say I'm guilty, I don't see what else you can say.
Well, here's what we'll have to do. We just have to show that you done the whole thing not unintentional. We'll have to prove that when you was operating Robert the robot that day, you never meant for him to kill Harry's bull or nothing else.
Well, that's the truth. I never.
I know, but we got to prove it.
Oh,
That's the hardest thing in the world to prove in a trial is the truth. That's the one thing folks hardly ever believe.
Well, let's just make up some stories and tell them.
No, we're going to stick to the truth.
I hate to take a chance like that.
Well, don't worry. It'll work out somehow. Then the next thing for us to do is to try to show what a nice feller you are.
Nice feller, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll try to prove that there ain't no kinder or more thoughty feller in the whole state of Arkansas.
Good for me.
Go back into your history and show how you've always been kind to Dumb animals.
Yeah.
Love little children.
Oh, yeah.
Always was nice to your mama.
Uh-huh.
Never said nothing mean to nobody. Never missed church.
Doggies, I am nice. Wished I was twins so I could have a friend like me.
Always helped old ladies across the road.
Oh, I'll help 'em.
Always helped a friend in need.
This town needs more fellers like me, that's what it
Always
needs.
set up with your friends when they's ailing.
Oh, yeah.
Always set up with sick animals, too.
Yeah.
Special cows and bulls. Bulls is your favorite animal.
I love bulls, love 'em.
Wouldn't harm one for nothing in the world.
Wouldn't touch a hair on their sweet little head. Bless their heart. Bless their little heart.
Never said a mean thing about anything or anybody in your whole life.
Oh, gracious.
Never even had a mean thought in your head.
I know it.
Now then, let me look in my law book here and find out what head and that may come under.
Doggies, I am sweet. Wonder how come me'd ever get mixed up with a feller like you. Well, guess it's like you said. I never had a mean thought about nobody.
What's this doing in my book?
Ah,
Looks like a list of names. It's in your handwriting.
I don't know. Let me see it.
Looks like it says getting
Something
even.
nice I wrote, I guess.
Getting even with list.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. My getting even with list. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, what in the world is that anyway?
Oh, that's just a list that I got up when I first started operating a robot and found out how much power I had. Them are fellers that done me a bad turn at one time or another. I was just aiming on having Robert beat 'em up to get even with them.
For goodness sake, was you actually going to do that?
Why, sure I was. I got old Tom Foster's name right to head the list there. I was going to make Robert whop him so hard his own papa wouldn't know him when I got done with him. I'd have done it, too, if we hadn't have got into all this trouble. And I hadn't have broke that radio control box. I'd have beat him.
Granny, that's a fine thing for a nice, sweet Abner Peabody to be saying.
Uh,
Here I am trying to defend you by showing what a gentle, kind-hearted, thoughty feller you are, and now I find out you's aiming on half-killing most of the fellers in this town. Look at that list.
Yeah.
Now everybody in town's on there.
It's pretty full.
Tom Foster, Ulysses S. Quincy, Old Man Johnson, Packrat Watts, Mose.
Well, see, I weren't actually going to hurt 'em. Bad.
We better not let nobody know about that list. That'd ruin your case for sure.
It would, huh?
Wait a minute, what's my name doing down at the bottom of the list there?
Well, see, that was it. How in the world did your name get down there? Now, let me think about this.
Hello, characters.
Oh, for goodness sakes, Cedric, don't sneak in here that way. You scare me half to
Excuse
death.
me. Fellow citizens, I have come on an important mission. I have came here to ask you to buy some...
You can stop right there, Cedric. We ain't in no position to buy nothing.
No, you better run along, Cedric. We're busy right now.
We ain't got time for whatever it is you're selling, Cedric.
You got time for this, all right?
No.
I'm a victory volunteer. I want you fellas to buy some extra war bonds for the 7th Ward.
Oh, well, we'd like to buy some extra ones, Cedric, but I don't see how we can afford it right now.
Don't you want to see Ernest Macmillan?
Ernest? Why, sure I do, but I don't see
Well, that's what you're practical saying. If you don't buy extra bond, you're keeping Ernest out there in the specifics just that much longer.
Oh.
Don't you want your daughter Pearl to get home quick as she can?
Well, sure I do, Cedric.
Well, buying bonds will help do it. Them things will help us hurry up and get this doggone thing over with. And I ain't gonna let nobody on my list back down either.
Oh, have you got a list there, Cedric?
Yes, Mom. See, you fellas are 4th on it. See your names right there.
That's all right, right
See
there.
them check marks after the names above yours there?
Yeah.
Means I sold every one of them right down the line.
Well, good for you, Cedric. You're doing a good job.
Well, we've got to do a good job. We can't let them down now. This is the time when we've got to work harder than ever. Put everything we've got into it. Put our shoulders to the grindstone. Here, I got some fellas I want to show you fellas. Give you a whole lot of reasons why you ought to buy extra bond. Some folders here.
Oh, yeah, let me see.
Well, you don't need to show us them, Cedric. We're convinced. By now, any fellow with any sense at all knows we got to keep on buying bonds. Put us down for extra bond apiece, Cedric.
Yes, Mom.
Oh.
Abner was going to raise $150 to pay Ira Hodgkins for his bull, so I reckon he can raise that much to put into war bonds.
Well, now, wait a minute, Lum. I'm going to need that money to pay off after I lose the trial.
You ain't going to lose, I don't think. Besides, this is way under more importance anyway, Abner. Come back tomorrow, Cedric, and we'll have the cash for you.
Yes, Mom. And Ernest will be much obliged to you for helping to get him home quicker. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, all right, Cedric. So long.
Yeah, so long. Let's see now. Where was we at before Cedric come in?
We stand right here as far as I recollect.
What was we talking about? It seemed like... Oh, I know. Why, you little varmint, what's the idea of putting my name on your getting even?
Well, now, wait a minute now, Lum. I don't believe it was even on there. It must have been a misprint or something.
Oh, it weren't no misprint.
Yeah.
It's right there in black and ink. Here, I'll show it to you. Oh, wait now. What did I do with that list?
Well, Lum, all I meant
Oh,
was...
here it is on the counter. Or no. Oh, that's Cedric's list of war bond customers.
Yeah,
He
that's
must have
it.
laid it down when he got out them folders to show us.
Yeah, well, Lum, honest, I never meant I was going to do nothing. You just cause I
My grannies,
wrote
wait
your-
a minute. I recollect now I laid your list right down here on the counter in this same place, and I know exactly what happened. Cedric picked up your list by mistake.
Cedric, oh my goodness. all right.
Grannies, we can't let that thing get away from us, Abner. Which way did Cedric
I
go?
don't know. I've never paid no attention. Wait a minute, so we can tell where he's heading for by seeing who's next on his list.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, look on it. Who's next? Who's
He
next?
got wrote down after.
Nobody's got
Here
my
we-
catch him.
Oh, my goodness.
What's the matter?
He's going to see Squire Skimp.
Squire?
Come on, we got to head him off before it's too late. Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, as we look in on the little community today, we found the town folks gathering in the Jot 'em Down store to witness the trial. Abner is back in the feed room helping Lum put on his judicial robe. Listen.
That's good now, Abner. Peek out the door there and see if everybody's here yet.
All right. I hope they ain't, though. I'll tell you that. I wish they'd never show up.
What I wish is there'd be some photographers out there. I don't like to brag on myself, but I will have to admit I look pretty good in my judge's robe. Wish I had my hair bent and some flour put on there. Looks sort of dignified or something.
Yeah, the Irish out there all right, and the rest of them, but I don't see Squire Skimp no place.
Well, we'll have to wait a little bit longer then.
No,
I don't want to make
forever.
my entrance till everybody's all set.
Yeah, Lum, look, there's still time. Let's call this trial off.
Well, I told you we can't do that, Abner. You're being lawsuited by Ari Hodgkins.
I know I am. I mean, settle it out of court. I'm willing to pay Ari the $100 he asked for in the first place.
Well, I don't think he'd be satisfied with now. Because he's suing you for 5 times that much.
I bound you if he seen the cash money, he would. Look, I got it right here with me. $100 cash.
For goodness sakes, where'd you get that?
Well, it's the money me and Elizabeth's been saving up.
Egg money?
I reckon she keeps it back there in a sugar bowl. Got it out and counted it last night. Doggy, I'm going out there right now and offer this to Ari.
No, now, Abner, don't you do that. I'm your legal advisor, and I advise against it.
Well, all right, you do it then. Here, you take the money.
No, I don't want it.
Go on, take it. If that ain't enough, I know where I can borrow 50 more. Here, take it. Lum.
I don't want it.
What, you got to take it, Lum. You're the justice of the peace. You can go out there and stop this trial if you want to. Now take it and tell Ari I want to settle out of court.
We ain't going to do it that way. I told you I'm going to get you out of this thing.
Oh, me.
Besides, I'm going to show that Ari Hodgkins he can't go around calling me names. Ain't nothing going to keep me out of this trial.
I wish there's something to keep me out of it. I'm bound to lose, and you know it, Lum.
I don't know no such a thing.
Well, Lord, me, before we knowed that Squire Skimp was going to be Ari's lawyer, we told him everything we was going to do in the trial. Fact is, I even admitted that I was guilty.
I know. I admit that puts us at a little disadvantage, too. But I think this new line of defense I've studied up's going to make a whole lot of difference. Don't forget this. All I have to do as your lawyer is convince me, as justice of the peace, that you ain't guilty. And any time I can convince myself of something, I'll give up my office.
Well, I hope you can't. Don't be stubborn with yourself. Don't argue.
I'd believe myself any day before I would Squire Skimp.
Yeah, but he's an awful good talker, Lum. I've heard him talk you into a lot of things.
He won't this time, though.
Don't forget he's got that list of mine, too. That getting even with list. where I wrote down names of all the fellers I was aiming to get even with. And our Hodgkins was on that list.
Well, we don't know for sure that he's got it, though.
Well, he must have it. Cedric picked it up by mistake yesterday when he's in here selling them water bonds. And far as we know, his next stop was Squire Skimp's office.
He never had no reason to show it to Squire, though.
Yeah, I'll bet he did. I'd give anything if we could have got a hold of Cedric and found out for sure.
Yeah, that is peculiar where he's been all this time.
Couldn't locate him nowhere.
Squire might be hiding him out to use him as a star witness.
That's just about what he's doing. And when they bring that list up in court, Lum, I'm sunk no matter how you look at it.
Well, when they do bring it up, I'll get around it some way. Look out there again and see if Squire's got here yet.
Yeah, all right. I still wish you'd take this $100 over and stop this dad-blame trial.
Abner, just stop saying that, 'cause we ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, Squire's out there now, sitting there talking to ours.
Well, good. You go on out and tell Grandpap to open the court then.
All right. You want me to tell him that you're back here in the feed room?
Abner, stop calling this a feed room.
Well, that's what it is, ain't it?
No, not on the days when I'm holding court, it ain't. This is the judge's chambers.
Oh.
Now go on out there and get things started.
All right. I've got a feeling this is the worst one mistake I ever made in my life, but here goes.
Yeah, howdy, Abner. Where's the judge?
Yeah, he's back there in the feed chambers, back in the judge's chambers. He wants you to open court, Grandpap.
Yeah, all right. Been so long since I done it, I don't know if I recollect how or not.
It'd be all right with me if you couldn't never recollect how to do it.
Whereabouts is the hammer? Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
All right, folks, all right. Simmer down, you varmints. Justice of the Peace Court of Cloverleaf Township, County of Polk, State of Arkansas is now in session. Justice of the Peace, Lum and Abner presiding.
Oh, me to think I could have got out of this for $100.
Yeah, howdy, Lum. Hello, Grandpap. Will the clerk of courts please, read any cases on the docket to be brung before this court?
That's you, Grandpap.
Huh? Oh, yeah, sure. Now, let's see here. Hodgkins versus E. Peabody.
Uh-oh.
He's lawsuing Abner for $500 for the loss of his prize bull. And the way I see it, that'll be enough, Grandpap. Before proceeding with the trial of Hodgkins versus Peabody, let me remind everybody that the contents of the Cracker Barrel and the Pickle Barrel are not free public property. Anybody wishing either of same will please pay for same in cash money. Thank you. The plaintiff in this case is Mr. Iry Hodgkins, and he's being represented by Squire Skimp. The defendant is Mr. Abner Peabody, and he's being represented by attorney Lum Eddard, not to be mixed or confused with Justice of the Peace Lum Eddard. We'll now have the opening statements by these two fine, brilliant attorneys. Mr. Skimp for the plaintiff is first. Go ahead, Squire.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. The statement of our case is short, direct, and clear-cut. Through the testimony of a few witnesses and the introduction of incontestable evidence, I shall attempt to prove, and will prove, that my client, Mr. R. Hodgkins, long and upstanding beloved citizen of this community, has suffered great damage in the loss of his prize bull. I shall further prove that said bull was struck down and fatally injured, and thus became the innocent victim of a terrible and dangerous mechanical invention known as Robert the Robot. I shall prove that this same robot was operated by one Abner Peabody, who directed the lethal strength of this monstrous machine with malice aforethought and premeditated intent to cause havoc and destruction in our heretofore peaceful little city.
I object. Objection sustained.
Now, wait a minute, Lum. You can't object. You're the judge.
No, not when I was doing the objection, I wasn't.
What's that?
I was Lawyer Eddard then. When I sustained the objection, then I was the judge.
Well, by George, I object to that.
Objection overruled.
Now, just a minute now, Lum. We've come into this court expecting to get some degree of justice.
Well, don't worry. You'll get it, Squire. That's one thing I'm for is justice. Yeah, I'll straighten this out. Lawyer Eddard, will you withdraw your objection? Yes, sir, Your Honor. Thank you. Objection withdrawn. Proceed, Squire.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. Well, I've said all I have to say, I guess. I'm through, Your Honor.
All right, fine.
Said too much, if you ask me.
Editors, you may now give your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. In stating our side of this case, we're forced to admit that certain facts stated by my colleague, Mr. Skimp, are true. A bull belonging to Mr. Hodgkins was killed by a robot, and this said robot was operated by said Mr. Peabody.
Oh.
However, I intend to show that said Mr. Peabody ain't no desperate criminal like Mr. Skimp's trying to make out. And I also will prove that he never aimed to do this thing with Alice of forethought or nothing else. Fact is, I'll prove to you that Abner, or that is my client, Mr. Peabody, is a man of goodwill that wants to see justice done. I'll prove that he never wanted to get mixed up in this trial in the first place, but wanted to make a fair settlement with Mr. Hodgkins. Time and again, he stated that he's willing to pay Mr. Hodgkins $100 for his bull, and that's more than it's worth. Fact is, not 10 minutes ago, right back there in the judge's chambers, he tried to give me $100 cash money to stop this trial and make a fair...
What was that last statement, Lum, Your Honor? I wish you'd repeat that.
Oh, I'll be glad to.
Yeah, just a minute. I want to write that down, too. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I said not 10 minutes ago, Mr. Peabody offered me $100 back there in the judge's chambers to... Uh-oh.
Yes, sir. Keep going, Mr. Justice of the Peace.
Oh, my goodness. Court's adjourned till Monday.
Huh? What?
Court's adjourned for further study of the case involved. All parties will report back here Monday morning.
For the man's sake, Mom, what in the world are you doing?
Just hush up, Abner, and come on back here in the feed room.
Well, I still don't see what your idea was.
I told you to hush up. Now, come on. Get in here. Hurry up. Get in.
I'm coming.
Granny, that was a close one.
Well, what happened? What was I adjourning the trial before it even got started, hardly?
Well, did you see what was happening?
Huh? What?
I forgot there for a minute that I was the judge as well as your lawyer.
Well, what does that matter?
Well, by saying that you offered me that $100 to stop the trial, we just showed that you're guilty of another charge, bribing a judge.
Huh?
And that's a penitentiary offense.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggy Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
Now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, as we look in on the little community today, we find the participants in the case gathered in the Jotham Town store with the trial already in session. Attorney for the plaintiff, Squire Skimp, is questioning his client, Ira Hodgkins. Listen.
Now then, Mr. Hodgkins, you stated that you found your missing bull in a ditch beside Highway number 16. That's correct, is it not?
You betcha that's correct.
In what state was the bull when you found him?
You're right in the state of Arkansas, aren't you?
Yes, I know where. I mean, what condition was he in?
Well, I couldn't tell. He was dead.
All right, he was dead then. Now, could you tell from your examination by what means the bull had met its death?
Well, sure. That gun robot killed it.
I object. The witness is merely expressing an opinion. Objection sustained.
Ari, just tell us if you can, how could you tell by looking at the bull how it died? In other words, did it look as though it had died from natural cause, or had it been struck by something?
Why, it'd been struck with something. You could tell that by looking at its head.
Yes, all right. Did you find anything else near the bull?
Yes, sir. I found the tin kneecap off that gun robot.
I object. It ain't been proved that was Robert's kneecap.
Yeah, all right. We'll prove that later. For the present, Your Honor, we would like to introduce this kneecap or piece of tin or whatever it is as evidence.
All right, Grandpap, mark that as Exhibit A.
Yeah, all right. Oh, this is Robert's kneecap, all right. Ain't no two ways about it.
Grandpap, just do what I told you to and don't make no comments. Go ahead, Squire.
Well, just one more question. Mr. Hodgkins, would you say that bull was of considerable value to you?
You bet I do.
I object.
I was aiming on entering him in the county fair next fall.
I said I object.
I was bound to win first prize with him.
Can't you hear me objecting? That's nothing but a personal opinion.
Well, I'm through, Your Honor. You may take the witness, Lum.
All right, that's better. Oh, wait a minute. I better get down around in front of my desk here, as long as I'm being a lawyer instead of the judge. Mr. Hodgkins, did you ever raise a bull before that won any prize at the county fair?
Well, no. But by jinx, the Sharon would have.
Just answer my question and don't add nothing. Did you actually see Robert the robot kill your bull?
Well, no. But I know good and well.
That's enough. Irie, you said you found your bull laying there in a ditch alongside of Highway 16. Do you own that property there where you found him at?
Why, of course not. That there belongs to the county.
All right. Do you make a habit of letting your stock run loose that way?
Well, no. Now, wait a minute. If you were trying
Just
to prove...
answer my questions, Irie. Do you know there's a law against letting your stock run at large in any district where the lands has been fenced in?
I object, Your Honor. There was nothing brought up in direct examination to warrant this line of questioning.
Well, I'll just have to rule against myself there. Objection sustained.
Yes,
all right, that's all, Irie. Leave the witness stand.
All right. But I think it is that there dadgum robot that broke down the fence and let the bull out in the first place.
All right. You're off the witness stand, Irie. Just take your seat over there.
Dadgummit. Nobody can tell me what happened.
All right, Squire. You can call your next witness. Let me get back on my judge's bench first, though.
Yes. Well, Your Honor, I don't see my next witness here right now. However, I was planning to call Mr. Cedric Weehunt, but apparently he has been delayed.
Well, in that case, the court will recess for 5 minutes or so to give everybody a chance to stretch. All them wanting refreshments can purchase same from the clerk of the court, Mr. Spears. Come on, Abner. Come on back here. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, back in the feed room.
How many times do I have to tell you that ain't the feed room now? That's the judge's chamber.
Oh, excuse me.
Hurry up. Come on in here.
Yeah. You want me to close the door?
No, they can't hear us.
Oh.
Well, what do you think now, Abner? I done pretty good, didn't I?
I reckon so. Don't know what you done, though.
Well, I got 'em worried. I know that.
You have.
I could tell it by the way Squire started objection to what I was saying to Irie. That's always a good sign.
Tis, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Well, what about that other charge you talked yourself into the other day, Lum? That and where you had me practical guilty of trying to bribe a justice of the peace.
Well, about all we can do on that is just ignore it and hope that Squire won't bring it up.
No, I hope so.
I think I adjourned court that day quick enough to stop it from going too far.
Yeah, you adjourned it before the trial got started, hardly.
Well, that's the only thing I could do. Nothing like that would happen today, though.
Dogged, I hope not. I still think it'd be a better idea, Lum, to try to settle with Ira for $100 like he wanted in the first place.
No, it's too late for that, Al. Just stop worrying now. I've got this thing under control. No matter what testimony Squire and his witnesses study up, I'll study up something that'll get around it. Just leave it to me.
Yeah, that's about all I can do now.
Come on, we better get back in there and start up the trial again.
Yeah, let's get the thing over with. I want to find out how much this is going to cost me.
It won't cost you a cent. Just mark my words. All right, folks, settle down. Court's in session again. Has your witness got here yet, Squire?
No, he hasn't, Your Honor. He seems to be delayed. However, we will pass him for the present, and I would like to call Mr. Milford Spears.
All right, fine.
Mr. Milford Spears, to the witness stand. Mr. Milford Spears,
Hey, that's me. What am I doing here?
Just take the stand, Grandpap.
Well, wait, I gotta swear myself in first. Don't forget I'm the clerk of the court.
Oh, well, go ahead and do that, then.
Yeah. In the testimony you're about to give in this trial, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. You sure you do? Of course you do. All right, then, sit down. Yes, sir.
Mr. Spears, you are acquainted with the defendant, Mr. Abner Peabody, are you not?
Oh, yeah, I've known the little varmint for years.
Did you ever see Mr. Peabody operating a machine called Robert the Robot?
Oh, yeah, lots of times, sure.
Did you ever notice the robot commit any act of violence?
How's that now?
Did you ever see the robot break up anything, Grandpapa? Well, like a Cracker Barrel, for instance.
I object. That's a leading question. Besides, it's unmaterial and unelephant and ain't got nothing to do with Irish bull.
Your Honor, I'm merely trying to prove that the robot has exhibited strength sufficient to permit him to kill a bull. As for the leading question, I believe you're right, Your Honor, and I'll withdraw it and rephrase it.
That's better.
Mr. Spears, did you ever see the robot in action in the store? And if so, what did he do?
Well, if you mean did he break the Cracker Barrel, he sure done it.
Yes.
He picked that pigeon thing up and crushed it like it was a box of Cracker Jacks.
Was Mr. Peabody operating the robot at that time?
Of course he was. Had a peculiar look in his eye, too. Might nigh scare the daylights out of me.
Did you ever see the robot commit any other acts of violence?
What do you mean, Squire?
Outside the store, Grandpap. Outside.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean now. Yes, sir. Yeah, one day Abner sent Robert the Robot over to our place to deliver some groceries, and when I went out in front to take the basket off of Robert's arm, the spavin-legged thing turned around and caught me by my suspenders and dragged me down the road and half killed me.
It never neither half killed you.
Hush up, Abner.
And was Mr. Peabody operating the robot at the time this happened, Mr. Spears?
Of course he was. The little varmint done it on purpose.
I never done no such a
Abner,
thing.
watch yourself.
All right, that's all the questions, Mr. Spears. Your witness, Mr. Edwards.
All right, but first I want to say a couple of things as judge. In the first place, this witness here is prejudiced. He knows good and well that the only reason Abner ever sent the robot out on the streets was to deliver groceries. And in the second place, Mr. Skimp, you're wasting your time showing that Abner was running the robot when these other things happened. Because I can prove to you that he wasn't running it. I know he wasn't running it when Irish Bull was killed, because the radio control box was busted.
Now, just a minute, Your Honor. I object to this. This is all very unethical.
I don't care what it is. It's the truth. And that's what this court bases everything on, is the truth.
And all right, I'll accept that. But now, let's get it straight now. First, you say that the robot was being used to deliver groceries.
Yes, sir, and that's all.
All right. In that case, then, it was a conveyance. You might class it as a delivery truck, a vehicle.
That's right.
Then you say that Mr. Peabody wasn't operating it at the time the bull was killed.
No, he wasn't. He couldn't. The control was busted.
Was anybody else with the robot at the time the accident occurred?
No, not that I know of. Cedric had been running along ahead of it, phoning in to Abner and telling him when to make the robot turn corners, but Cedric had plumb lost track of it.
In other words, then, the robot was unattended.
Yeah. Nobody had nothing to do with it.
Did Mr. Peabody turn the mechanism or motor or whatever you call it off at that time?
No, I told you the control box was busted, so he couldn't possibly have had a thing to do with it.
Yes. Your Honor, may I call your attention to Section 6637 of the Code of Regulation of Motor Vehicles. I quote, "It shall be unlawful to leave any such motor vehicle without an attendant upon any public highway without shutting off entirely the motor, engines, or engine. Any person violating the provisions of this section shall, upon conviction, be fined in any sum."
Squire, I said court's adjourned. That means adjourned. Stop. Quit. End it. Come on, Abner. Back in the judge's chambers. Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I don't Islam, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store.
This is Lum and Abner.
And now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, as we look in on the little community today, we find Judge and Lawyer Edwards and his client, Mr. Peabody, in the feed room waiting for the trial to resume. Listen.
Well, I reckon we better get out there, Abner. Looks like everybody's ready to start up the trial again.
Yeah, well, Lum, before we go out there, there's just one question I'd sort of like to ask you.
Oh, sure. What is it?
Well, now, Lum, there ain't nothing personal in this now. I want you to understand that.
Well, what is it? I'm your lawyer, so feel free to ask me anything you want to.
Well, that's sort of what it's about.
What do you mean?
Well, is it too late for me to get a different lawyer?
Well, I don't think it. A different lawyer?
Yeah.
Well, what's the matter with me? You've got the best lawyer you can get right now.
See, I know you're good, Lum. It ain't that, but, well, so far all you did is just get me in deeper, Lum. When we started this trial, I was just being lawsuited by Ari Hodgkins for killing his bull. Now you practical got me charged with bribing a judge and leaving a vehicle with the motor running on a highway and nobody in it.
Well, them are just accidents, Abner. I never aimed on that happening.
Well, it happened, though.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about them things. You'll notice that I was smart enough to adjourn the trial every time one of them things came up. See, that's where you're lucky.
Lucky?
Yeah, anytime I make a mistake as your lawyer, well, I can just turn around and be the judge and adjourn the trial right then. You don't realize what a lucky man you are having me handling this for you.
Well, maybe so, but I'm feared if I keep on being lucky like that, it'll ruin me, Lum. I was just thinking if I got a different lawyer.
Well, you ain't going to get a different lawyer. It's too late for that.
Oh.
Besides, I want to see this thing through. I've got my reputation to think of.
Well, all right. But just do me one favor then, Lum.
Why, sure. What is it?
When we get out there, don't say nothing to defend me.
Don't say nothing to defend you.
No.
That's my job. That's what you got me for.
I know, but every time you say something, it just seems like you get me charged with something else. So, because I wish you'd defend Ari for a while and get him into some trouble, too.
Well, don't worry. Nothing like that'll happen today. I know exactly what testimony Squire's going to bring out today. And I got it all planned out how I'm going to get around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's aiming to put Cedric on the witness stand and get him to tell about that getting even with list of yours.
Uh-oh, the trial's over right there.
Well, no, it ain't.
When they find out that Ari's name's on that list, Lum, they'll sure enough think I had the robot kill Ari's bull on a purpose.
Yeah, but here's what I'm going to do, Abner. I'm going to get Cedric to testify what a nice fellow you actually are so that nobody will believe that getting even stuff.
Oh.
I got hold of Cedric this morning and told him to be sure and bring up that time when he was so sick and you practical saved his life.
I did, huh?
Yeah, a story like that'd sway any judge, especially when I'm the judge. Them things always carry an awful lot of weight with me.
Well, I hope so. You be sure and listen good to that now so you'll hear it and get swayed.
Don't worry, I will. Come on, we better get out there.
Yeah, all right, all right.
Tell Grandpap to open the court.
Yeah. I believe he sees you coming. He's going to do it anyway, Lum.
All right. Simmer down, folks. Simmer down. The Justice of Peace Court of Cloverleaf Township, County of Polk, State, Arkansas is now in session. Lum Edwards, Justice of the Peace, presiding. Take it, Lum. Thank you, Grandpap. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to continue the case of Ari Hodgkins versus E. Abner Peabody. Mr. Hodgkins is lawsuing Mr. Peabody for $500 for the loss of his prize bull, which is considerable more than the bull's worth. Is the attorney for the plaintiff ready with his next witness?
I am, Your Honor. I wish to call Mr. Cedric Weehunt to the witness stand first, please.
Cedric Weehunt, take the witness stand. Go on, get up there, Cedric.
Yes, Mom.
No, right over there, Cedric.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, wait, don't sit down. You have to be sworn in first, Cedric.
In the testimony which you're about to give in this trial, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Do I, Mr. Squire?
You do, Cedric.
I do.
Sit down, state your name.
My name's Cedric Wolfgang Weehunt, and I'm in the third reader, and I'm the only boy in the third reader with a Social Security card.
That's enough, Cedric. Just answer my questions and let it go at that.
Yes, boy.
Now, Mr. Wehunt, do you know the defendant, Mr. Abner Peabody?
Yes, Mom. That's him sitting right there. I know him good. Hello, Mr. Abner.
Hello, Cedric.
We speak.
Mr. Wehunt, did you ever see Mr. Peabody operate the machine known as Robert the Robot?
Oh, yes, Mom. He operated him, and I was the fellow that run ahead and sent back messages telling him when Robert was supposed to turn the corner.
Mm-hmm.
We'd say Roger to one another.
Yeah.
He was smiling Captain Peabody, and I was grinning Lieutenant Cedric. We sure had fun, boy.
The purpose of this arrangement you have so colorfully described was what, Cedric?
Mom?
I mean, to what use was the robot being put?
Mom?
What was the robot doing out there, Cedric?
Oh, let's see now.
Carrying groceries?
Carrying groceries.
Do you know of any other plans that Mr. Peabody had for the robot? Think hard now, Cedric. Second question.
Oh, yes. He was aiming on using the robot to get even with different fellers around town. He said he had a list of the fellers.
Hey, Lum, don't we object?
Yeah, we ought to, but I can't think of any reason.
Did you ever see that list of names, Cedric?
Yes, Mom.
Now, Mr. Wehunt, I have here a slip of paper with some names on it. Now, take a look at that. Do you recognize it?
Yes, Mom. That's the list I was telling you about.
Would you please read a portion of this list?
Read a what of it?
Read part of the list there, Cedric. Start at the top and read
it. Says, getting even with list. Tom Foster, Ulysses S. Quincy, Old Man Johnson, Packrat Watts, Mose Moots, R.A. Hodgkins.
All right. That'll do, Cedric. Your Honor, we would like to introduce this little document here as our Exhibit B.
Well, all right. Take it, Grandpap, and mark it B.
Now then, Mr. Wehunt, you have heard previous testimony describing how Robert the Robot disappeared while delivering groceries. When did you again see the robot following his disappearance?
Well, I seen him a few days later when I found him in that ditch beside Highway 16.
All right. Did you find anything else now in that same ditch?
Yes, Mom. I found Mr. Ari's dead bull.
Mm-hmm.
He was there.
About how far was the robot away from the bull, would you say?
Oh, I don't know. I never measured, but...
About
20 foot, I reckon.
Yes. That's all, Cedric. You're witness, Lum.
All right, Cedric, that is, Mr. Wehunt, you said that Mr. Peabody was going to get even with different fellers. Now then, can you actually think of one mean thing that Abner's ever done?
Well, let me see. I'll have to study on that.
Can't think of any, huh? Now then, can you think of any nice things he's ever done?
Well,
Sore throat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've always found Mr. Abner to be a nice, kind, thoughty man.
Amen.
One time I was suffering something wonderful with an awful sore throat. Couldn't swallow or nothing. Might not starve to death. And Mr. Abner come over and set up with me.
Well, did he do anything else for you?
Your Honor, I object to this. This has nothing to do with the case.
Objection overruled. That getting even with list has brung up the subject of the defendant's character. So I have a perfect right to go farther into the subject.
Oh, me.
Go ahead, Cedric. What else did Mr. Peabody do for you?
Well, he seen how sick I was, so he tried to get hold of Doc Miller and couldn't find him nowhere, so then he recollected how Doc Miller had fixed up some stuff for him once when he had a sore throat, so he called Ed Beckley at the drugstore to have him fix up some more of the stuff, but he couldn't get hold of Mr. Ed neither.
Yeah, well, go on.
So then Mr. Abner went down to the drugstore anyway and mixed up the stuff himself and painted my throat with it and saved my life. Mr. Abner is a nice man.
Just a minute here. Cedric, do you mean to say that this is actually true?
Yes, Mom, just as truth as I'm sitting here. You can ask Mr. Abner there if you don't believe me.
Well, I never knew that. You mean that Abner went right into the drugstore and mixed up that medicine himself?
That's what he done. And he saw Ed mix it up.
that time when he got it for himself.
By the way, Lum, is Abner a registered pharmacist?
No, of course not. That'll give you an idea how brave he was. He'll do anything to help out a friend.
Lum, are you familiar with Statute 4603 concerning the registration of druggists? It shall be unlawful for any person, not a registered pharmacist, to engage in the retailing, compounding, or dispensing of medicines, or allow
right
any...
there, Squire. Stop right where you're
Adjourn
at.
the court, Lum. Adjourn the court. You've done it again.
Court's adjourned.
So to think I could have got out of this for just $100.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I know this, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, as we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner back in the feed room of the Jot 'em Down store. Lum is outlining his new plan of defense. Listen.
Granny, today's going to be different, Abner.
Different?
You're going to see some of the outcapness lawyer work you've ever saw.
Uh-oh. Sounds like more bad news to me.
What do you mean, bad news?
Well, Lum, every time you did something for me in this trial, it's just got me in deeper. Every time you say something, I get another one of them charges slapped on me.
Well, the whole trouble is that I've been working at a disadvantage. But that's going to change now. See, long as Squire's the lawyer for the plaintiff, he gets to put his witnesses on the stand first.
Oh.
And all I could do is just cross-examine them and try to mix them up a little.
Well, near as I can figure it out, the only ones you mixed up so far is me and you.
Yeah, but Squire's done now. So it's our turn to put our witnesses on the stand. And that's going to make all the difference in the world. You just watch and see.
Well, Lum, how are you going to get me out of all them other charges besides this lawsuit that ours got against me? That judge bribing and mixing medicines out, being a druggist and all that.
One trial at a time is my motto. I've got to get you out of this lawsuit before I can try you on them other charges. You can't put a man on trial while he's still on trial for something else.
You can't, huh?
No. So you see how safe you are right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, here, keep this trial going as long as you can, then.
No, it ain't safe to do that. See, we've got to get this thing over with so we can put Robert the robot back in the box before Dr. Grill gets in town.
Okay, that's right. I've got so much other trouble that I plumb forgot about Dr. Grill.
Oh, he's liable to blow into town any day now. Just looking at the date on that last postcard he sent us, and according to that, he ought to have got here yesterday.
Oh, trouble. Reckon what he'd do to me if he found out I'd taken that robot out of the box and killed a bull with it after he told us not to even look inside the box.
Oh, I don't reckon he'd do much. Hardly. Anyway, the thing to do is to not let him find out about it.
Oh, no.
With this new defense I've studied up for you, I believe I can wind up the trial today.
That'll be nice. Then I can start on them other trials.
Well, cheer out there, Abner. Just wait till I tell you how we're going to work this today.
I ain't sure I even want to hear it, Lum.
Well, here's the way I look at it. After listening to all the testimony that Squire's brung out, there ain't no way we can get around the fact that Ari Hodgkin's bull was killed by the robot, and that you was operating the robot.
Yeah, well, here, wait a minute, though, Lum. I wasn't operating the robot. Or at the time it run into Ari's bull, I wasn't.
No, but you was the fellow that set it in motion. and that's enough.
Yeah, but that control had busted off of there. I want to operate.
Well, see, for instance, if you shot a feller with a shotgun, you could say that you weren't operating the gun at the exact moment that the bullet struck the feller.
Have they got me charged with that, too?
No. But you'd still be guilty because you was the one that set the bullet in motion by pulling the trigger.
Wish somebody'd set one in motion at me. The only way I know how to get out of this thing.
Well, it ain't that bad. Now, listen, here's my plans. That day when the accident happened, Robert the robot was supposed to deliver more than one basket of groceries, wasn't he?
Yeah, after going to the Blevins, where he never got to, why he was supposed to go to the Pomeroy.
All right. Now, the Pomeroys live out past Irie Hodgkin's place.
Yeah.
So we're going to show that the robot was on his way to the Pomeroys when he hit Irie's bull.
Well, that ain't the way to the Pomeroy's place, Long.
Well, you can get there going that way, though, can't you?
Well, I reckon you could. I know a better way, though, if he'd go around there by the old
Well, but Robert didn't.
Oh.
He was still pretty much of a stranger in town and never knowed his way around very good.
He never, huh?
And you wasn't operating him no longer because the control box had busted. So Robert was on his own.
Yeah, I reckon you are, yeah.
So here's the idea. The robot was on his way to deliver some groceries, minding his own business.
Huh.
And the bull walked out there and got in his way.
It did?
In other words, it was the bull's fault and not Robert's.
Doggos, I believe you're right there.
The robot ain't got no brains, so you can't expect him to turn out of the way and miss something. But a bull ought to have enough sense to see something coming and jump out of the way.
Why, of course he ought to. A bull that ignorant, these are to be here.
That's my point exactly.
Yes, sir.
So we're going out there and plead justifiable homicide.
Well, here, wait a minute. What about the idea you just told me about? That sounded pretty good to me.
Well, that's it. That's what you call it in law words.
Oh, well, don't use that out there long. Nobody will understand it.
Well, the only one that really has to understand it is the justice of the peace. And that's he, so we ain't got nothing to worry about.
Well, is that what that means, that justifiable homicide is killing a bull?
Well, not exactly. Come to think of it, I reckon they'd better change that plea to justifiable bullicide.
Yeah, that sounds better, I believe. I never wrecked nobody's home, I know.
Well, come on, we better get out there. I think everybody's ready.
All right, I just hope you don't have to adjourn court again today to keep me out of the penitentiary, though.
Well, don't worry, this is going to be our good day in court.
I hope so. I can't keep from feeling like a feller's climbing the 39 steps to the electric chair.
Now, howdy, Squire. You and your client all set?
There is. We're all ready to resume, Lum. Your Honor.
Well, good. You're going to see some fancy stuff today, too, Squire. I don't mind telling.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I hope.
All right, folks. Court's in session again. Due to circumstances over which things come up, we had to adjourn the trial of Hodgkins versus East Peabody kind of sudden yesterday. Now, we got them things straightened out, so now we're ready to resume the trial up again. Being as how the plaintiff finished up yesterday, the defense will take up for itself today. Is the attorney for the defense ready? I am, Your Honor. I wish to call Mr. Abner Peabody. Go ahead, Grandpa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Abner Peabody to the witness stand. I'm done sitting in it, Grandpa.
Well, get out of it then. Let me swear you in first.
Oh, my fixed-fatal foul.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Why?
Sit down and state your name.
Abner Peabody.
Mr. Peabody, you've heard the testimony of other witnesses describing the circumstances over which the robot operated by you killed Mr. Hodgkins' bull. Do you agree with them facts in generality?
Well, do I?
You do.
I do.
On the day the bull was killed, what was the robot doing?
Delivering groceries.
And where
Out
was
to the Pomeroy.
Well, wait till I ask you the question.
Oh.
Where was the robot going to deliver groceries?
I told you out to the Pomeroy place.
Where is the Pomeroy's place located at?
Why, it's out past Irie Hodgkin's place there. The robot hit the bull on the way out there. That is, the bull got in his way. See, Robert don't know enough to turn out of somebody's way, but a bull surely ought to have sense enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
I object.
Objection sustained. Witness got carried away. He won't do it no more.
If I did something else unlegal.
Not yet.
Oh, good.
Mr. Peabody, as far as you know, does the robot have a brain?
Well, sir, you know, sometimes it seems like he's sure enough.
I mean, does the robot have any way of knowing when to step to one side to keep from hitting something?
Oh, no, of course not. No. Moves right straight ahead.
All right, that's all, Mr. Peabody.
Well, wait, there's a lot more stuff I want to say here.
I've made my point here, Abner, and we don't want to take a chance on you saying the wrong thing.
Oh.
All right, Squire, you're a witness.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. Now then, Mr. Peabody.
Hey, Mr. Squire. Can I see you for a minute?
Yes, just a minute, Cedric. Your Honor, I wonder if the court would excuse me a minute. I think Cedric has a message for me.
Well, how long is this going to take?
Just a second, Your Honor. What is it, Cedric? You better whisper it to me.
Yes,
Oh, all right, fine. Your Honor, I would like to have permission from the court to offer another witness whose testimony bears directly on the case involved.
Well, I don't know, Squire. You rested your case once.
Yes, I know, Your Honor, but the witness has information extremely pertinent to this case. And in the interest of justice, his testimony should be admitted.
Well, I'll have to know more about what his information is before I can rule on this. You bring him over and I'll make a decision then.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Cedric, run across the street and tell him to come on over here.
Oh, yes, Bob.
Hurry up now.
In the meantime, we'll continue the case. Go ahead, Squire. You was cross-examining Abner.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Peabody, you have stated that the robot was on its way to the Pomeroy place. Is that correct? It is. Judging from where the robot was found, and the point where he was last seen, and judging from the fact that he progressed in a straight direction, he must have been cutting across country on his way to the Pomeroy's end. Is that correct? Why, sure. In other words, the robot must have gone through land belonging to the Tilfords, the Whites, and the Potters. In other words, he was guilty of trespassing. And inasmuch as you were the operator of the robot...
Now, wait a minute, Squire.
Better turn the court, Lum. Turn the court.
No, we don't need to do that this time. Squire, you can't slap no trespassing charge on Abner just because the robot done it. Because we've done showed that when this thing happened, Abner wasn't running the robot no more. Fact is, he ain't actually got no connection with it either. That thing belongs to Dr. Grill, and that makes Dr. Grill a full owner, and so he's responsible for the robot.
Well, in that case, then, why was Mr. Peabody operating the robot in the first place? He must have gotten permission from Dr. Grill to do this.
No, he never. Fact is, he told Abner not to touch the thing. Not to look in the box even.
Is that the truth, Lum?
Yes, sir, and you know it is.
All right, I demand that Mr. Peabody be arrested for robbery and tampering with other people's property. Here we go again.
Now, wait a minute. I got you this time, Squire. The only fellow that can make them charges is Dr. Grill himself, or his lawyer.
Well, in that case, I invite you to look out the front door then and see who's coming in with Cedric.
Huh?
Meet my new client.
Oh, my goodness, Dr. Grill. Court's adjourned.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I know this, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
Now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, as we look in on the little community today, we find Dr. Grill in Squire Skimp's office. The Squire is talking to Lum on the telephone. Listen.
Well, I'm sorry to hear you're suffering so much, Lum. Yes, well, when do you think it'll be safe to resume the trial then? Yes, well, that'll be fine. All right, goodbye. Well, the trial's been postponed until Monday because the judge is ill.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, Tut, don't waste too much sympathy on him, Dr. Grill. He's no more sick than you or I.
I beg your pardon?
Why, Lum's just over to his place there, reading his law book, frantically trying to find a way out of the trouble he's got Abner into. But he'll never do it.
Well, is his partner, Abner, what's his name, still in jail?
Oh, yes. Uncle Henry Lunsford's got him locked up over there. In fact, it was all they could do after we pressed that robbery charge on Abner yesterday.
You know, I rather hate to be responsible for sending a man to jail. Perhaps we should withdraw the charge.
No, I think that would be a mistake, Dr. Grill. Abner's not so bad off. Spending a day or so in our jail here is hardly any different than going down to the barber shop and sitting around. Almost a social event, you might say.
Well, yes, perhaps, but I don't believe that Abner actually stole the robot from me. He just borrowed it, and I'm going to get it back.
Well, yes, you'll get it back, but remember this. Before you left a few weeks ago, you gave both Lum and Abner explicit orders not to take anything out of that box the robot was in. In fact, not to even look in it and find out what was in there.
Yes, that's true.
And they deliberately violated your orders. Furthermore, they used the robot for their own profit. Even killed a bull with it.
Yes, I understand all of that.
You know that while they were using your robot as a delivery boy, their store business was so good they couldn't keep up with it. Those extra profits they made rightfully belong to you, too. And I think you should be repaid.
Well, perhaps you're right.
Yes, I know I am.
However, when I gave those orders not to look in the box, I had need for secrecy. You see, I was on my way to Washington to interest the War Department in my invention. However, after I got there, they soon convinced me of the impracticability of manufacturing thousands of my robots for automatic soldiers. So now I guess it really doesn't matter what happens to my robot.
Well, no, but think of the damage that Abner's meddling might have caused you if the War Department hadn't turned down your invention. The only thing for you to do, Dr. Grill, is to stand up on your rights and press the charges against Abner.
Well, perhaps you're right.
No doubt about it.
However, I must get back home soon and recoup my losses. Needless to say, I put everything I had into the robot, and now it's worthless.
Yes, well, I might have some plans in the connection there, which I think might interest you.
Plans?
Yes, I don't have all the details worked out yet. It'll take a little cash to get started, too. However, if you'll stay here a little longer and we play our cards right, I've just got a feeling that Lum and Abner might put up the capital for us.
Oh, I hardly think they'd do that after the way I'm treating them.
Well, they might not have any choice in the matter.
I don't quite follow you, Mr. Skip.
You just leave it to me, Dr. Grill. All we need to do is to get Abner in a little deeper, and everything will work out fine. As a matter of fact, I think I'll run over to the jail right now and have a little talk with Abner. Just sound him out and see how much farther we have to go with him.
Well, I still don't quite understand.
Well, I'm your attorney now, so you just let me do the worrying. I'll run over and see Abner, and I'll meet you back here at my office tomorrow morning.
Abner, you don't have to sit back there in this uncomfortable cell. Come on up here and sit with me in my office.
No, I ain't gonna do it, Uncle Henry. That's unlegal for a jailbird like me to go out of his cell. I ain't gonna take a chance on doing nothing more unlegal. That Lum has run my trial now to where he's got me charged with half the things there is in the law book. I don't want to get in no deeper, Uncle Henry.
Well, all you're charged with is just robbing Dr. Grill of his robot, ain't you?
No, Lord, no. That's just one little bitty part of it.
Oh?
See, when this thing started out, our Hodgkins wanted me to pay him $100 for the bull that the robot killed.
Oh.
And I wanted to do it. But Lum said he'd handle it for me. Well, it's wound up now with Ari lawsuing me for $500. Then Lum started the trial, and every time he brought up some new way to defend me, why, it turned into some other charge against me. So far, he's got 4 other charges against me.
What, 4?
Yes, sir. Bribing the judge, leaving the motor of an empty vehicle running on a highway, mixing up medicine without being a regular druggist, and now robbery.
Well, what you need, Abner, is to get a different lawyer.
I know it, Uncle Henry. But Lum won't let me. He's my legal advisor, and he advises against it.
Oh, yes. Where's Lum at now?
Why, he's over this place, making out like he's sick.
Oh.
But actually, he's just studying his law books, trying to figure out how to get me out of all this.
Well, I don't think anybody can get you out of this mix-up you're in now.
Yeah, well, he says that he's going to stay over there sick till he studies up something. Then he'll start the trial up again.
Well, if you want my opinion, it looks like you're going to be down there a long time now.
Huh?
And in a way, I'm sort of glad.
Glad for me to be in jail?
Yes. You know, it's been getting awful lonesome down here at the jailhouse. No prisoners at all.
Oh.
Even Willie the Boodler's left. Went down to Florida.
Yeah, I was wondering where he's at.
I was sorry to see him go, because he was the one I was practicing my jiu-jitsu on. But now that you're here, I can use you.
Well, now, wait a minute now, Uncle Henry. What is that stuff, that jiu-jitsu?
Oh, it's fancy wrestling hold.
Wrestling?
Yes. Why, you can whip fellers 3 times your size with it.
Huh.
You mind if I practice on you for a while?
Well, now, wait a minute. Wait just a minute now.
Ooh.
Can anybody slap another charge on me for this?
Oh, no. Here. I'll show you the book. It tells all about it.
Oh, you got a book on
Oh,
it?
sure. Pictures and everything. I carry it around with me all the time.
Well.
Practice whenever I can. Look here. Here's some of the pictures here. Some of the fellers using them jiu-jitsu holds.
Oh, let me see. Get your head back. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Comical looking.
Yes.
He must have been an awful big hurry to get their pictures took.
Oh.
Never even took time to dress.
The dress? What's that dress?
They got on their underwear.
Oh, no. That's what they wear when they do this jiu-jitsu stuff.
Oh. Well, are me and you going to have to wear outfits like that, Uncle Henry?
Well, not all the time. They just wear them when they're doing the jiu-jitsu.
Well, after you learn how, well, exactly when do you use this here jiu-jitsu stuff?
Oh, about the only time you use it is when some great big feller jumps on you. And...
Well, law me, he ain't going to give you time to strip down like that before he fight.
Well, yes, perhaps. I never thought of that.
Well, it looks to me like you'll have to go around that way all the time. Now, I know good and well if I ever went out on the street dressed like that, I'd be bound to get another charge of some kind slapped on me.
Well, maybe you don't actually have to dress that way.
Yeah, I tell you, Uncle Henry, maybe we could wear extra long overcoats so it wouldn't look so bad.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we could slip out of them pretty quick. Somebody wants to jump on us from behind.
Oh, yes. Oh, I don't think nobody's going to jump on you, Abner.
Well, I don't know. I don't believe a feller could go around town dressed that way and not have at least one fight. Some smart aleck could say something.
Well, maybe so. I ain't asking you to learn to do this jiu-jitsu. All I want to do is to just let me practice on you.
Yeah, that's a better idea, Uncle Henry.
Yeah.
I don't want to get mixed up in nothing. If I learned how to do it, though, I'd be bound to break somebody's neck the way my luck's been running here lately. I don't want to take no chances on doing nothing illegal.
Well, you don't have to. All you have to do is to just stand there. Now, let's see. It says here in the book, says, first seize left wrist of adversary. Then you raise your left foot against the thigh of the adversary's leg.
Doggy, that's a pretty good trick.
Yeah.
Who is this adversary?
Why, well, that's you.
Huh?
Yeah, sure. Here. Give me your wrist.
Oh.
Give me your wrist.
All right. What I do now?
Well, nothing. I'll do everything from now on.
Oh.
Now, watch this. Watch it close now, Abner. In 1 second, you're going to be flying right through the air. Ready now? Here we go.
Hey, Doggy, that's pretty good. You jumped clean over my head, Uncle Henry. Uncle Henry, what are you doing down there on the floor?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. Are you hurt, Uncle Henry?
Oh, I think my back's broke.
Huh?
Yes, run out and get Doc Miller.
Yeah, well, now, look, Uncle Henry, I never done this on a purpose.
I know.
Fact is, I never done it.
Oh, I know you never. Just hurry up and get the doctor. The keys are there in the cell door. Hurry
Yeah,
up.
I'm hurting.
Oh, my back is broke as sure as the world.
Well, don't worry. I'll be back just quick as I can. Just take it easy. Stay right there. Don't go away. Oh, this is terrible. Well, where are you going, Abner? Oh, out of my way, Squire. Uncle Henry's knocked out on the floor of my cell. I'm in a hurry. Oh, trying to escape, are you? Hey, turn them to me, Squire. Well, that's 2 more charges to add to your criminal record, Abner. Breaking out of jail and striking an officer.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, as we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in his cell, and Lum is just entering. Listen.
Yeah, much obliged, Uncle Henry. I won't be in here more than 5 or 10 minutes. Well, how are you, Abner?
Terrible. Oh, would you just try sleeping on that hard cot there for a while?
Well, you don't have to be in here much longer.
I can't stand it no longer, Lum. That bread and water is just killing me. I just can't stand it another day.
Bread and water, is that all they're giving you to eat and drink?
Oh, no. Uncle Henry's letting Elizabeth bring the victuals down to me. That's the trouble. She brings all that stuff down here, and I get full, and then Uncle Henry insists I eat that bread and water, too. I just so full I can't stand it.
Well, I just refuse.
Oh, he won't let me. Says he'll throw me in jail.
Well, you're already in jail.
I Doggers, that's right.
Well, of course.
Why, he can't make me do that. What's wrong with him, anyway?
I finally studied up a way to get you out anyway.
Get me out.
Yes, sir.
But for how long? All them other charges again me looks like I'm going to spend the rest of my life behind iron bars.
No, you ain't. This new idea's going to get you out of every one of them charges. Not just the lawsuit Harry Hodgkins has got against you.
My Doggers, I hope you're right, Lum. What is this new idea?
Well, it'll work. I know it will.
Yeah, but what is it?
Why, well, you don't care what it is as long as it gets you out of trouble, do you?
Well, no, I reckon not, but I would like to know what it is, Lum. All the other ideas you studied up so far have just got me in worse. So I wish you'd at least just give me a little hint what this one's about.
Well, Abner, before I tell you, I want you to recollect this. Now, I just studied this up because you're my friend.
Oh.
And I think the world and all of you, and I want to help you the worst way.
Well, that's the way you've been helping me so far, the worst way.
Now, no matter what it is, I want you to agree right now to agree to it.
Well, Lum, I can't agree to something I don't even know what it is I'm agreeing to, can I?
Well, just put all your confidence in me.
Oh.
Just say to yourself, Lum is my best friend, and whatever he does, it's for my own good.
Well, I can say that to me, but I don't think I'll believe it after I tell me that.
Well, try it.
You
might convince yourself.
No, not on that argument. I know I'd never believe me. Just tell me what it is, Lum.
Well, now, Abner, you got to recollect that you're in an awful mix-up here.
That I know. You don't have to come all the way over here and sit down in jail and tell me I'm in trouble if that's what you're trying to do.
I just want to imprint it on you. I don't believe you could be in a worse predicament than you're in right now to save your life.
Well, that's what I kept thinking all along, but I found out I was wrong. I got worse ones every time.
Just look at what all you're facing.
Oh.
First of all, you're on trial for killing Irish prize bull with the robot. $500 he's suing you for.
Yeah, and I could have settled it for $100 if you'd have let me.
Yeah, but I told you weren't no sense in paying off.
No, me.
Just leave everything up to me. I'm going to get you out everything.
Yeah.
But on top of that, you're charged with bribing a judge.
Oh.
And you're charged with leaving the motor of a vehicle running on the highway.
Uh-oh.
Mixing up medicines without being a registered druggist.
Oh.
Trespassing and robbery.
Oh.
Now you got yourself charged with striking an officer of the law and breaking out of jail.
And I could have settled all of it for just 100 measly little dollars.
I told you ain't no sense in paying him that, though. I'm your lawyer, and I'm going to get you out of it.
I hope so. You're sure going a roundabout way to do it. I'll say that for you.
Well, that jailbreaking charge is going to be the worst one.
It is, huh?
Yeah, what in the world did you ever hit Uncle Henry and try to break out of jail for? Don't you know that's against the law?
Mom, I never done that.
Well, Squire seen you when you're trying to make your getaway. Said you had the keys to the jailhouse in your hand, and he seen Uncle Henry laying on the floor himself.
Yeah.
And what's more, he's got witnesses to prove it.
See, I know it, Lon, but see, I weren't breaking out of jail. I was just going to get Doc Miller. Uncle Henry had knocked himself out.
Knocked himself out?
That's what he done. He come in my cell here and said he wanted to practice some of them jiu-jitsu holds on me.
Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I think that's what he called it. He's trying to learn himself how to do that junk. And he started to show me some kind of a hold and grabbed my wrist there, and first thing I knowed, why, he'd throwed himself clean over my head and fell on the floor and might nigh broke his back.
Well, that's funny. Uncle Henry never said nothing about that.
I know he never. He just don't want nobody to know that he can't work at jiu-jitsu no better than that. That's the reason he won't fess up. But I doggies, now that is the truth.
Well,
my heart.
It don't matter now, no way, because I'm going to get you out of all these charges, regardless of whether you're guilty or not.
Yeah, well, now, Lum, right there now. Back up there. Rack them up and shoot again. How you going to do it? That's what I want to know.
Well, now, Abner, when I tell you this, it might not sound like such a good idea to you right at first.
Right at first?
Yeah.
Oh.
But just recollect that I'm your best friend, and whatever I do, it's for your own good.
This is getting to sound worse all the time.
And it's like I've been pointing out to you. Now, you're in an awful bad fix here.
Yeah, Lum, don't keep telling me that. I know I'm in a bad fix.
The fact is, with all these charges against you, you could be sent to the penitentiary for years and years.
Lum, I wish you wouldn't say that. That makes me nervous. Come down here and cheer me up.
Well, it's the truth, so you might as well face it.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's why it's going to take something pretty drastical to get you out of it.
Well, if it'll get me out, well, I reckon I better agree to it. Actually, I guess that's all I can do, anyway.
Now you're talking.
What is it?
Well, Abner, old boy, now recollect you agreed to it.
Huh?
You said you'd do it.
Yeah, I know it.
All right, we're going to plead that you're insane.
Yeah, well, insane?
Insanity.
Now, just a minute now, Lum.
Now, Abner, don't go flying off in the handlebars. Don't forget you've done agreed to this.
Yeah, Lum, but I can't agree to nothing like that. What do you think I am, crazy?
Well, that's the whole idea.
Huh?
It oughtn't to be hard for you. Besides, if it'll get you out of all your trouble, you ought to be willing to act that way for just a little while.
Well, Lord me, Lum, nobody'd believe that. I couldn't make nobody think that I was touched.
Yes, you could, Abner.
No,
You're the one feller that could.
No, sir, I just wouldn't be no good at that at all.
Well, I don't know. I believe you got a head start on them.
Huh?
You've got natural talents for it, Abner.
Oh, you're just saying that.
No, sir, it's the truth.
Well, that's nice of you to say it, Lum, but what am I saying here, anyway?
It's all set then.
Well, I don't know now, Lum.
It'll be easy enough to do, Abner. As your lawyer, I'll enter a plea of insanity.
For me?
Yeah.
Oh.
And as the judge or justice of the peace, I'll have to stop the trial while the court decides whether it's true or not.
Oh.
And then, as your lawyer, I'll put you back on the stand and ask you some questions, and you give me some crazy answers.
That might be hard for me to do.
No, just answer them sort of like you've been answering them.
Huh?
So then, as judge, I'll say this man is touched, and all the charges again you'll have to be dropped, and that's all there are to it.
Oh. Well, how long will I have to, be away?
Oh, just a short time. I'll come to visit you on visiting days and send you cookies and all such as that.
Well, that'll be nice.
Well, Way yonder better than being in the penitentiary the rest of your life.
I reckon it is.
Wouldn't you rather have nice, soft, padded walls than these cold stone ones here?
You can't sleep on the wall. I don't care where they pad the floor. That's where I've been having trouble, is sleeping.
All right, now it's all set then. Well, I better get back to the store. It's time for the trial to start up again.
Oh.
I'll call the town marshal and have him take you up there, so I'll see you in court, Napoleon.
Yeah, Napoleon?
Oh, yeah, I guess I forgot to tell you that. Act like you think that's your name. That's all that's good. I'll see you later. Court is now in session. Justice of the Peace, Lum and Abner, presiding. Thank you. Before we continue with the trial of Hodgkins versus Peabody, it's my duty to report that the attorney for the defendant has entered a plea of insanity as regards Mr. Abner Peabody.
Just a minute. What's that, Your Honor?
Therefore, it will be necessary to halt the proceedings of this trial in order to examine the defendant in this regard and see what mentality state he's in.
I'm Napoleon.
Will the attorney for the defense bring Mr. Peabody to the witness stand? Yes, I will, Your Honor. All right, Abner.
Who's Abner? I'm Napoleon.
Well, get up there, Napoleon.
Your Honor, just a minute, if you please. This procedure...
Just a minute, Squire. I never gave you the floor.
Your Honor, I would like to say just a word to the court. This procedure is highly irregular. If our good Justice of the Peace were familiar with the legal procedure in this matter, he would know that any investigation of the mental condition of the defendant must be conducted by a competent physician employed by the state hospital, not by some Justice of the Peace. Therefore, if this plea of insanity is to be entered, I, as attorney for R. Hodgkins, demand that such action be taken.
Uh-oh. Well, what do you want to do now, Abner?
Don't look at me. I'm Napoleon.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, as we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in his cell at the jail. Lum is giving him some last-minute instructions before the doctor arrives. Listen.
Well, now, if you follow my instruction, Abner, you won't have a thing in the world to worry about.
Lum, this is without a doubt the silliest thing I ever heard in my life. Them doctors will never in the world find me crazy. I don't care how much examining he does.
Well, he will if you do like I say.
For the land's sake, them doctors know what they're doing, Lum. They can tell whether a feller's actual touched or whether he's just acting that way. And he'll know good and well the minute he talks to me that I'm just putting on.
No, I don't believe he will.
Yes, he will, done it.
You've got a natural talent for acting that way.
Oh,
you got a head start on him.
You're just saying that trying to make me feel good.
Well,
I know.
there ain't no time to argue about it now. He's on his way over here to the jail to examine you. Squire's bringing him over here.
Oh, well, have you saw the doctor yet?
No, I wanted to have a talk with him before he observed you, but Squire got a hold of him first, and I ain't even had a look at him so far.
Oh.
Then Squire called up to tell me he was going to bring him over here to the jail, so I rushed right over to help you get ready for him.
Get ready for him?
Why, sure.
Well, what do I have to do to get ready? I'm in jail. I ain't going no place.
I know, but we want to fix your hat on your head sideways so you look like Napoleon and get your cell all screwed up with paper dolls that you've been cutting out.
I ain't been cutting out no paper dolls.
No, but you're going to.
Huh?
We want this doctor to think you do that all the time.
Cut out paper dolls?
Why, sure.
Well, Lord me, Lum, I don't believe I'd even know how to cut out paper dolls. I never did that in my life.
Well, here, I'll cut out a batch for you. I brung a pair of scissors along and some paper.
Doggies, them is pretty, ain't they?
I'll get started on it right away. You better be putting on your hat.
Well, I don't know how you mean, Lum. How do you want me to wear it? I don't know nothing. Just put my hat on my head.
I have to show you everything about being crazy.
I guess so. I don't know nothing about it. I ain't never tried to be that way before.
Hand it to me. I'll show you what I mean.
Yeah.
Just take it and kind of fold it up. Put it on this way. See?
Doggies, you're pretty good at acting this crazy part yourself, you know.
I am.
You sure do look
Well,
funny.
I'm just a natural-born actor.
Oh, me. But it'd have to be crazy to wear his hat that way.
Well, that's the whole idea.
Huh?
I agree. Wait a minute. I believe I got a better idea. Why don't you get that big black hat that Uncle Henry wears? That'll even look sillier.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah.
Do you know where he keeps it at?
I believe he always hangs it back there in that empty cell at the back of the jail there.
Well, you go get it, and I'll work on these paper dolls here.
Well, Mom, now, you sure that this ain't going to get me in a lot more trouble? I don't want to get some more charges tacked on me here.
Well, it's the only thing we can do now, Abner. Goodness, look at them. Little men holding hands. Ain't them pretty?
Hey, you're all right at that, you know.
Yeah, see, you can spread that out and unfold it, and there's a whole row of them.
Aye, doggy, them's right cute, you know. I recollect little Pearl cutting out paper dolls when she was just a young.
Don't tell me she's crazy, too.
Well, no, all little children cut out paper dolls.
That's right.
Just growed up today.
Must be where I learned it.
Yeah.
I was a child once.
Oh. You're doing good, I'll say that for you.
Yeah, kind of enjoying this. You know, when I entered that plea of insanity for you yesterday, I never figured that Squire would insist on getting a psychiatrist from the state hospital out here to examine you.
Is that what this fella is?
Yeah. We just got to go through with it now.
Well, what happens when he finds out that I ain't actual testing the head no longer?
Well, in that case, we just have to go back and finish up your trial with R.A. Hodgkins.
Oh.
Then you'd have to stand trial for all them other charges.
Oh, me, and I could have got out of this whole thing for just $100 to start with.
But don't worry, I think you can convince him you're mental unbalanced, all right. Just keep acting like you think you're Napoleon. Stand around with one hand in your coat all the time.
What's that for? Is my hands cold?
No, just do it and don't ask why. I ain't got time to explain it to you now. Napoleon done it, and that's all I know.
Yeah, well, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me, I reckon.
Every picture you ever seen of him, he's got his hand inside of his coat.
Maybe he just put on his long underwear and it's itching him.
Well, I don't know what the reason was. Keep talking about Waterloo and Josephine.
Yeah, well, who's Josephine?
That's your lady friend.
Oh, my goodness, well, don't tell Elizabeth about that, Mom. You know how judgy she is.
Well, just hurry up and go back there and find that hat. The doctor will be here any minute.
Yeah, all right. Wait a minute, though. I'll have to find Uncle Henry and get him to unlock my cell here for me.
It ain't locked. Just open it up. Hurry up.
Oh.
I'll have these paper dolls all done by the time you get back.
Right in here, Doctor. This is the jailhouse. It's not much, but it serves a purpose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I don't see our good town marshal about anywhere. Well, I'm sure it's all right for you to go right on back there in the cell and conduct your examination.
Yes, it's all right. The man isn't violent, is he?
Oh, no. You'll find him just as sane as you or I. A little eccentric, perhaps, but that's about all.
Well, you mentioned something about him killing a bull, and I wondered if he had reached the violent stage.
No. The man is just using this insanity plea to get out of a lot of charges brought against him. That's the whole idea.
I see. And where'd you say I'd find him?
Just open that door right there, and he'll be in the first cell on the left. It won't be locked. It rarely ever is.
Yes, all right.
I'll wait out here for you, Doctor, and take you back to my office.
All right, fine. I beg your pardon.
How do you do, sir? Are you by any chance the doctor?
Yes, I am.
Well, that's fine, Doc. We're just expecting you. Come on in.
Did you say we?
Yeah, Max is, we just talking about you.
Oh? You mean there's somebody else in here?
Yeah. Well, he ain't here right now. Napoleon just left, but he'll be right back.
Napoleon?
Yeah, well, he ain't actual Napoleon. He just thinks he is. You know how some folks are.
Yes, of course. And who are you?
Oh, I'm Mr. Edwards, leading citizen and merchant, president of the school board, and head of the Chamber of Commerce, justice of the peace, and all that stuff. Whilst I don't like to brag on myself, I'm related to the King Edwards.
Well, by the way, Mr. Edwards, do you always wear your hat that way?
Huh? Oh, for goodness sake. Just showing Napoleon how to wear his hat.
I see. And what's that you're cutting out there?
Just some paper dolls.
Mm-hmm. Let's see them.
Oh, they ain't so much. I wasn't really doing these for myself. I just sort of helping Napoleon out.
Mm-hmm. Say, those are dandy.
Well, much obliged. I'll give you some for you.
Tell me, Mr. Edwards, do you see this Napoleon often?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see him all the time.
I see. And can you talk to him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure.
And can you hear him talking to you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He talks about fighting the Battle of Waterloo and about Josephine and that junk all the time.
Ah, I see.
You know, Doc, I hate to say this because he's such a good friend of mine, but I'm feared the poor feller's catched.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. That's why I had to adjourn the trial to call you in.
You had to adjourn the trial?
Well, natural. I'm the judge.
I thought you were the defendant.
Oh, no, that's Napoleon. And I'm his lawyer.
I thought you said you were the judge.
Well, I am. You see...
Never mind. Just skip it. Tell me, Mr. Edwards, have you ever had any great emotional shocks in your life?
Why, Granny's, wait a minute. There he comes.
Yeah, who do you mean?
It's him. That's Napoleon.
Oh.
Hi, Doggy's Lum. I can't find that hat nowhere. Ain't that and you got on good enough? Oh, excuse me. I never knowed you had company.
Well, come right on in, Napoleon. Shake hands with the doctor.
Oh, yeah. How to do, Doctor?
Yeah, how you do?
Yeah, got all the paper dolls cut out, I see.
Yeah, got 'em all done for you. Ain't they pretty?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, whereabouts you been? Out at Waterloo? Did you win?
Win what?
The battle. That's what you been doing, ain't it? Fighting a battle?
Oh, I see. Yeah, win, I guess.
Did you see Josephine?
Who?
Josephine, your lady friend.
Oh, her, yeah, I saw her, yeah.
Yeah, have to humor him that way, Doc.
Yes, I can see that.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you want to start the examination now?
No, as far as I'm concerned, the examination's over. I found out everything I need to know.
Well, good for you. I know you'd agree with me.
And now, if you'll come along with me, everything's going to be all right, old man.
Well, wait a minute. What, do you go to hold my arm for?
Just take it easy now. Just consider this a sort of a vacation. We'll have you straightened out in no time at all.
Wait a minute. I ain't the one that's crazy.
No, of course not. Come along.
It ain't me, though. It's him. It's Napoleon.
Well, Napoleon has to get back to Waterloo. You come along with me. I've got a surprise for you. You can have a room right next to your uncle, King Edward II.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, as we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows back in the feed room of the Jot 'em Down store, preparing to wind up Abner's disastrous trial. Listen.
It's all right, Uncle Henry. I'll take charge of Abner and see that he don't escape.
Yeah, I won't escape. Honest, I won't.
I'll bring him in as soon as the trial starts. Just want to have a little talk with him. So you just go ahead and sit down, Uncle Henry. Close the door there.
Yeah, all right.
Well, Abner, old boy, I guess this is it.
Yeah.
I just can't tell you how sorrowful I am that things turned out like they did.
Well, I know that you never meant for all this to happen to me, Lum.
Just seems like everything I tried turned out bad. Just everything was against me, seemed like.
Well, don't feel that way now. You couldn't help it.
Nice of you to say that.
Well, you couldn't.
I thought surely I could get you out all these charges on that insanity plea, but that never worked neither.
No, Dad, blame it, I was normal. Just my luck.
Fact is, it almost got me sent to asylum instead of you.
Yeah, how did you ever talk that doctor out that he was bound and determined he was going to lock you up?
I know. It wasn't easy, I'll tell you that. I finally convinced him that I wasn't the defendant in the trial.
Oh.
But he still thought he ought to take me along with him.
He did, huh?
And then Dick Huddleston had a talk with him, and he managed to make him think I was all right.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Are you touched, Lum?
Well, of course not.
Well,
Just trying to make the doctor think you was touched. Everything I said made it sound like I was.
well, you did look a little silly sitting there with my head on sideways cutting out them paper dolls. He thought I was sort of your guardian or something, I believe, the way he acted.
Well, it's all over, so I reckon they might as well forget about it.
Yeah.
Point of it is that he did get around to examining you and found out you was perfect normal.
Yeah, he done it.
That's a surprise to me.
I can't do nothing right.
Now you got to go back in there and face Ari Hodgkins in his lawsuit again.
And, you'll have to find me guilty, huh?
Well, that's all I can do, Abner. I hate it the worst way, but just ain't no other way to handle it.
Oh.
As justice of the peace, I'm bound to say that you're guilty.
Yeah, huh?
And you'll have to pay Ari that $500 he's suing you for.
$500. Well, if I can't pay all of it, will I have to go back to jail?
Well, if Ari's willing to take payment, maybe you won't.
Oh, he won't cash that varmint. I know he will.
Yeah, I'm feared so, too.
He'll do stubborn.
Especially with Squire being his lawyer.
Yeah, he's just as stubborn as Ari.
But the worst part of it is that this ain't the end of it, you know. The minute I pronounce you guilty in this trial with Ari, why, then Squire will rush forward and demand that I arrest you on all them other charges.
Uh-oh.
Judge bribing and mixing medicines out being our pharmacy sister. Trespassing, striking an officer, attempting jailbreak.
Dogged, I'm a worse criminal than I thought I was.
And then Dr. Grill will be right there with him, you know, demanding that I press them robbery charges again.
I'm the public's enemy number one. WON is me.
Well, it don't look good for you, I'll have to admit that.
And I think I could have got out of all this for just 100 measly little dollars to start with.
Yeah. Or if you could have been touched in the head, you see.
Well, Lum, I tried my best to be, but that doctor just wouldn't believe me. I'm sorrowful I'm so normal.
Well, it's too late to worry about that now.
So that if I could have just been more like you.
Well, we all have our limits. So I might as well face it.
Yeah, I'm just no good at nothing, I reckon. Just a no good, no count human.
No, I think it's me that ain't no good.
No, it's me. It's me.
Well, I sort of got you into all this. Ought to be ashamed of myself.
Oh, now.
That's the truth, Evan. You ought to whop me on the head.
No.
You ought to give me a good, swift kick. Here, I'll bend over and let you kick me.
No, I don't want to do that now, Lum.
Go ahead, I got it coming to me.
Lum, I don't want to kick you. You never got me into this trouble on a purpose.
Well, I got you into it, though. Go ahead and kick me while I'm bent over here. Go ahead, hard as you can. If any man deserves to kick another, and I grant you... Oh! Why, you little varmint.
Well, you told me to do it.
Well, you never need to do it so hard.
You said to make it a hard one. I never wanted to do it, but you insisted. You said, Abner, kick me as hard as you...
You don't have to believe everything you hear, Abner. That's your trouble. You always take everything so literary.
Well, I'm sorrowful, but I thought you said when you wanted
I ought to swap you one right on top of the head.
Huh?
Oh, wait a minute. This ain't no time for us to be fussing at one another.
After all, we might not see one another for quite a spell.
Not see one another.
Yeah, let's just not talk about it, Abner.
Well, you mean,
Well, they can't send you up for very long, I don't think.
they can't, huh?
Well, not too long. I don't think you'd get convicted on all them charges. You're bound to get out of some of them.
Yeah, but even if I get out of some of them, there's still a lot left, Mom.
I know.
Reckon how long I'll get, Mom?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say, Abner. I was figuring it up last night, and no matter how you look at it, even if you was guilty of all them charges, the most you could possibly get would be 72 years.
Yeah, well, it might... 72 years?
Yeah, but I know with me as your legal advisor, we could get that cut down way yonder lower than that.
72 years? I won't live that long.
Well, see, you got 'em right there.
Doggy's little Pearl will be a grown-up woman by that time.
Well, Abner, I know good and well it won't be that long. Found you we can get you off with 5 or 25 years.
Mom, I wish you'd help Elizabeth keep this away from little Pearl. It'd just break her heart if she knowed her papa was nothing but a jailbird.
Well, she don't need to know. She ain't got enough points to get out of the army no ways, has she?
No, but she might accidentally see my picture in that post office somewhere, that rewards, up there.
Post office?
Yeah, you know how they stick 'em up in criminals.
Oh, I don't think they'll hang your picture up.
They will, don't they?
That's more for desperate criminals that escape and all that. Rob post office.
Well, I'm desperate right now.
Just don't try to escape when you get to the penitentiary, that's all.
I won't, I promise. Aunt Lum, there's something else. Don't tell old Blue neither.
Old Blue?
Yeah, that dog thinks the world and all of me. It'd hurt him, Lum. He thinks I'm so wonderful, just kill him. Break his little heart.
All right, I won't tell him.
No, don't make him tell him.
Wait a minute.
Let him hunt his squirrels and be happy.
See who that is knocking.
Huh? Oh, all right. Well, what is it, Grandpa?
How soon are you going to get started here? I'm getting tired of waiting.
Yeah, pretty soon, I reckon.
Yeah, we'll be right in, Grandpa. You get everybody to calm down, and then you can open court in a half a second. We'll be right out.
Yeah, we'll be right out.
All right, but hurry up. Well, I reckon this is it, Abner.
Oh.
Here, let me shake your hand, old boy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure going to miss this old place.
Well, don't worry. I'll keep everything running here till you get out, or till you get back.
That's 72 years. That's a long time to be keeping this door open waiting for me, Lum.
I want you to know how sorrowful I am the way things has turned out.
Oh, just forget it. I know you done your best. That's all any fella can do, I reckon.
I'll keep a fatted calf in the window and a burning taper in the chimney corner.
72 years, that's going to be an old calf, I'll tell you that.
Well, come on, little pal. Better get out there, I reckon.
Yeah, better get out there.
Open the door, Abner, old boy.
All right. Feel just like I'm walking into a dungeon. Lions, then. There's lions in it waiting to pounce on me.
Don't say that.
There's one of 'em right there, that dad-blamed R. Hodgkins. Look at him, sitting there grinning.
More likely thinking about that $500 he's going to get.
Where's them other lions? That Squire Skimp and Dr. Grail. Oh, surely they be sitting there just waiting to slap them other charges on me.
Don't worry, they'll be here. Dr. Grail's more than likely over at Squire's office working on the robot.
Yeah, me, 72 years, gotta eat tough beef when I get out. A 72-year-old calf.
I know he's been trying to get it back in shape again. What for, I don't know.
Well, come on, ain't no use standing here. Go in there and get it over with.
All right.
Hey, Grandpap, we're ready to start now.
Oh, yeah, all right, Abner. All right, folks, all right. Simmer down. Court's in session. Justice of the peace, Lum Edwards presiding. Take it, Lum. Roger. We're about to wind up the trial of Hodgkins versus Peabody. As a result of the report of the state psychiatrist, the defense is forced to withdraw its plea of insanity. So the defense rests its case. So now we'll have the closing statements from their respectful attorneys. Mr. Lum Edwards, attorney for Mr. Peabody, will be first.
Hey, Lum.
I'll be through in a minute, all right. Your Honor, as attorney for Mr. Peabody, I'd like to...
Wait, Lum. You can't start yet, and my lawyer ain't here yet.
Well, whereabouts is he at, Irish?
I don't know. I called his office a while ago, but he wasn't there, so I figured he's on his way over here. But He ain't showed up yet.
Yeah, wait a minute. There comes somebody up out there. Oh, that's just Cedric. He ain't nobody.
Oh, Mr. Ari, I've got a note for you, Mr. Ari.
For me? Give it here, Cedric.
It's from Mr. Squire. He told me to give it to you.
Yeah, what does it say, Ari? What's in it? What does he say?
Oh, my goodness alive. They can't do this to me.
Oh, what does it say, Ari?
Lum, you adjourned the sheriff trial for Abner every day last week, and now do it once for me. I adjourn the court.
All right, Ari. Court's adjourned.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggy Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, as we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner in the Jot 'em Down store trying to figure out what Ira and his lawyer are planning now. Listen.
All right, Doggies, what could have been in that note? What could have been in it?
Well, just stop saying that, Abner. You're going to drive me stark raving mad, crazy, insane.
Well, what could have been in it, Lum?
Well, if you wait till Larry gets here, we'll more than likely find out.
Well, are you sure he's coming over here?
Of course he is. You heard me when I was talking to his woman on the phone a while ago. She said this is where he's headed for.
Yeah. Well, where's he at then? He's had enough time to get over here by now.
I don't know where he's at, Abner, but he'll be here.
Slowpoke.
Fact is, he'll have to come over here sometime because we still got to wind up the trial.
Doggy, it sure has fooled you about that note. Here we was all set to wind up the trial yesterday, and then I got that note from Squire. Right away, wanted to adjourn the trial. Try calling Squire Skimp again, Lum. See if he won't tell us something. Leastways, give us a hint.
Well, I've been trying to call his office all morning long and ain't got no answer.
Well, try calling his home then. Maybe he's sick in bed. I hope.
Yeah, that's the idea. I better call there once.
Oh, but I wish he had the laryngitis or something and couldn't go on with that trial for Ari. And he couldn't stand up there and holler out all them other charges again me. Of course, I reckon he could write them down, though. Hope he gets a writer's cramp to the farm.
Wait a minute. I think I hear somebody picking up the
He's despise it.
Hello? Who is it? Oh, Miss Skimp, this is Lum. Lum Edders. Yes, Mom. Yeah, I was just trying to get in touch with Squire. Out of town.
Huh?
Well, where'd he go?
Hope he's lost.
Well, when do you expect him back? Uh-huh. Well, quick as he gets in, will you have him call me? All right. Thank you, Mom. Goodbye.
Where's he went too long?
I don't know. Said she never knows.
Never knowed?
I think she actually did, though. She sounded a little curious.
Yeah, well, when did she say he's going to be back?
Oh, she said most any time. Sounded like she's kind of beating around the brush there.
Around the brush? Where was she talking from? Out in the yard? The telephone's there in the
No,
house.
I mean like she's hiding something. Never wanted to come right out flat-footed and tell me the truth.
Oh. What do you reckon he's up to?
Granny, I don't know.
Whatever it is, I know it ain't good. Bound if he went summers to get a different judge to try me or something.
You know, he might be doing something like that.
Why, sure, he's just sneaking enough to do it.
I know he's pretty much against me being both your lawyer and the judge in this case. Of all I said, he's an unreasonable man.
Well, I don't reckon it'll make much difference no way. Ain't helped me none so far having you be the judge.
Granny, wait a minute, Abner. I think maybe I'm getting a idea.
Well, just keep it to yourself. I've got enough charges against me as it is on.
I can always tell when I'm getting an idea. I sort of squint up my eyes.
I can too. I don't want to hear it, Mom. Just keep it to yourself. Dog is trouble, 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 trouble. Oh, me.
We can wind up this trial before Squire gets back. We might have a better chance.
Oh, not good enough, though.
Wait a minute. I mean, might even have a better idea. Without Squire here, we might be able to make a settlement with Ari out of court.
Out of court?
I know I can handle Ari without his lawyer around.
Yeah, but wait just a minute, Lum. Don't forget that's how you got me into this trial in the first place, was trying to handle Ari.
Yeah, but we might be able to make him think that Squire's went out of town for a long time. Make him think Squire's deserted him.
Well, Ari must know where Squires went to, Lum. He must have told him in that note, surely.
Reckon that's what was in the note?
Why, sure, Squire's his lawyer. What I want to know is where's he went? What's he doing? That's what I want to know.
Regardless of what Squire said in the note, I think I can talk him out of it. You know what kind of a reputation Squire's got. Nobody much believes him. You know how suspicious Ari is.
No, he's a suspicious fella, all right. I'll admit that, but he must know where Squire
Well, leastways
went to.
it's worth trying this, Abner. After all, he had no right to lawsue you for that much money in the first place.
Of course not.
That bully wasn't worth more than $500.
Why, of course it weren't. It weren't nothing. That's what it weren't.
Only fair that we try to get him to settle for less.
Why, sure.
Now, I don't think the bull was worth more than $100, come to think about it.
Why,
it's
no.
worth that much. Wasn't no count at all. I wouldn't have had the thing.
Me neither. Wouldn't give him 50 cents for it. Well, I might have done better than that, but ain't no use for us to talk about that, Lum. I got my doubts if that R'll settle now, though.
Well, we couldn't expect nothing like that, but I think if I handled him right, I could bring him down to $300 anyway. Maybe even $250.
Well, anything's better than $500, I know that.
Well, when Ari gets in here now, you just let me handle everything. You'll be surprised how far I can talk him down.
I just hope Squire don't walk right in here in the middle of it and talk him back up again.
Well, you kind of keep an eye out in the front door there, and if you see Squire coming, you can run out there and stall him off for a while.
All right.
Ask him about your questions about the trial.
Dogged, I'd give anything to know where he went. Call up Dick Hutterson, Lum, see if he knows.
Well, I talked to Dick a while ago, and he never mentioned nothing about Squire being gone, so more than likely he don't know it neither.
Hey, say, maybe Dr. Grill knows. He's been staying over there with Squire.
Yeah, that's right.
Sure, yeah.
Come to think of it, though, I ain't saw him around here for the last couple of days.
Say, you don't reckon... Oh, wait a minute, there he comes.
Dr. Grill?
No, Ari Hodgkins. Get ready to start talking your fancies, Lum.
Don't worry, now, if he gets out of here without owing us something, he'll be lucky. I'll start out by saying, now look, Ari,
There he comes. Don't let him hear you talking about it.
Howdy, Ari, old boy. Come on in.
Howdy, Lum. Hello, Abner.
Lum wants to talk to you, Ari.
Shut up, Abner.
Yeah, I want to talk to you too, Lum.
Well, before you do, Ari, there's a couple of things I think you ought to know.
Yeah, Squire's went out of town, Ari.
I'll handle this, Abner.
Yeah, I know he has. But what I want to say to you, Lum, is...
Well, that's fine, Ari, but you know how Squire Skimp's reputation is. Can't hardly ever depend on him. He's the kind of a feller that'll desert you right when you need him the most.
Yeah, like, say, in a trial.
Yeah, I know. But what I want to say is this. I come over
and so,
here...
considering that being the case, sometimes the best thing for a feller to do is just sort of take things in his own hands.
Yeah.
After all, a brainy feller like you, Ari, ought to be able to handle things for himself.
Well, much obliged, Lum. But what I was aimed to...
So in view of them circumstances, I don't know but what'd be better for you to, well, just sort of settle this thing out of court.
Set it out of court?
Well, now, wait a minute, Ari. Me and my client here are willing to make a fair deal.
Oh, yes. Honest, Abner. That's me.
We admit you got something coming to you for that bull of yours, so we want to make it up to you.
Well, now let me tell you what I come over here first.
Well, let's settle this first, Ari. What would you say would be a fair price to settle that?
Well, I'd say...
$200, huh?
$200? Well, I think...
All right, we'll compromise in $250.
It's a deal.
Well, good. Put her there. Here, you shake hands with him, too, Abner. I want to make this official.
Oh.
$250.
How do do, Ari?
Hello, Jimmy. It sure feels good to get the chair thing settled. That there trial was to keep me away from my work.
Yeah, I was afraid it's going to keep me away from mine for 72 years.
Of course, now, Abner can't pay all that in cash right off. All right. About the best he can do is $150, ain't it, Abner?
Yeah, I'll get out of the cash store right now. I've got it right back.
But he'll give you a note for the balance. 90-day note if you want it.
Oh, that's all right. Just make it easy on yourself. You can make out that there note some other time. I ain't no rich for it. I know your word's good as gold.
Yeah, here you are. It's $150. You can count it out if you want to.
No, that's all right. I trust you.
Well,
I ain't got time, no ways. I gotta get back to my work. Well, I'll see you fellas later.
Yeah, all right, Ari. Glad you dropped in.
yeah, so long, our old pal. Doggy's such a fine fella. I wish he's my uncle.
Okay, I guess now you'll change your opinions about it.
You sure done good, Lum. I'll have to hand it to you.
You notice how I tricked him into that $250?
Yeah.
I started at $200 and worked up.
Oh, you got him on that right there. He never knowed what was going on.
Well, howdy.
Oh, well, howdy, Grandpap. Doggies, you ought to been in here and saw how Lum took care of old our Hodgkin.
Yeah, I seen him leaving. Looked pretty happy. I seen him about a half hour ago, and he's pretty worried then.
Pretty worried.
Oh, yeah, you'd be worried, too, if your lawyer up and deserted you right in the middle of a trial.
Deserted? You mean Squire actually done that?
Why, sure. Did you hear what Squire done?
Why, no.
Ari told me about it.
Yeah, what's that, Grandpap?
Squires went in business with Dr. Grill. And they've taken Robert the robot out on a 6-month carnival tour. Left old Ari high and dry.
Well, I do know.
So Ari's feared he wouldn't get nothing at all out of this trial.
Huh?
When I seen him, he's on his way over here to try to talk you fellers into a $100 settlement.
$100?
And judging from his face, he must have got it. Did he?
Yeah, he got it all right, Lum.
Now, Abner, don't look at me that way. Don't.
You snaking a weed. You and your big